Isn't that cool? Through the steering wheel, eh? Anybody here? I see one person. So good afternoon. I'm glad some people have popped on. At least one person has popped on. And that person gave me a thumbs up. That's awesome. There's got a couple of things I'd like to talk about. I'm in my motorhome, by the way. Yes, yesterday morning I got up at a little before 4 o'clock. I took a load of hay to the mushroom grower, then, or the composter. Then I brought a load of compost back in my brand new walking floor, Dorsey walking floor trailer. Unloaded it. Tried to get a car to rent to come here to get the motorhome. They'd rent me a car, but they wouldn't let me drive it to Oklahoma. They're like, now, you're not taking our car to Oklahoma. You can't do that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I took a car from Oklahoma and brought it to New Jersey. Like, we don't need cars in Oklahoma, so we don't want you to do it. And if you do, it's going to cost you X, Y, Z in money. So my dad said, well, I fueled up my car, so right now he is behind me. Me and him drove out yesterday. We left at about 1 o'clock and got out here at about 9, quarter after 9 this morning. 1,400 miles, 1,430 miles, 38 miles, what we did. And, of course, we're headed back now. I am almost to Missouri. No, I'm in Missouri. I'm in Missouri. I should call it Missouri. My good friend, Mr. Waylon Wire's Old Iron, or 63 Impala two-door, as we formerly knew him as. But Waylon Wire's Old Iron. He's from Missouri, and he says, it's not Missouri, it's Missouri. So there we go. And I think it's fine. So motorhome's running good. Obviously, new heads, lots of things. And yeah, and it all happened because of bad ass gas in Arkansas. Hi, Northern Ireland. So it's Missouri, 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 Missouri. It's the show me state, right? I'm from Missouri. Show me. So anyway, it's raining. It's nasty. I'm tired. Dad's tired. We're gonna go for a little while here. Gas mileage is phenomenal right now. I've just now burned a quarter of a tank and have gone 155 miles on a quarter tank. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So anyway, I want to talk about a video I made before I left on the first trip on Ag Talk and the Raw. I got a phone call yesterday from a friend of mine, and he's like, hey, there's some farmers that are in the next county over that are really mad at you, and they're gonna, they want to kick my ass, I guess. I'm like, what? What the hell did I do? I don't do anything to these people. So, I didn't do anything to these people. So there was a farm accident, I don't know, a couple weeks, about 3-4 weeks ago, back in February, I think the 26th of February, where a little boy was killed. His grandfather was, I didn't know at the time what had happened, but his grandfather was, according to the news reports now, his grandfather was plowing snow, and the little boy, he's 2.5 years old, got outside, and his grandfather ran him over and killed him. That's what the news reports say. At the time I made the video, I didn't know what had happened, and I kind of thought maybe a cow or a bull had gotten a little boy. And I stated that I'm not sure, but I could almost put money on it that this little boy was killed by a bull or a cow, because it's a dairy farm and they have those there, and they are pretty brutal animals. When they decide that they're going to hurt you, they will hurt you. There's not, they think they're going to hurt you. They decide they're going to hurt you, they're going to hurt you. So that wasn't the case. The little boy was killed by his grandfather accidentally backing over him. My heart bleeds for these people. I really feel bad for them. My aunt went to school with the one brother, I don't know, I want to say his name was Alex. Doesn't matter though, because they're all pissed off at me because I made a video about this little boy being, killed or deceased. So it wasn't the fact that I mentioned it. It was the fact that I mentioned the GoFundMe account. So somewhere someone promptly posted a GoFundMe account for this family. Looked at it in a couple of weeks, and I don't really care what it is, because quite honestly, if something tragic happens in my family and somebody puts up a GoFundMe account for my behalf, I will be very upset about it, because A, I don't beg for money. I don't ask people for money. Now, I'm not saying that they do or have, but what I'm saying is that that money that is getting donated into that account is pretty substantial, all right? And if they don't have the money to bury the child, then that's okay, because they can use that money that is put into the GoFundMe account. Now this, again, is none of my business. I'm just stating what I would do with the money, okay? We also have another family up the road, like I drive by their house every single day. A little boy was 12 years old. I knew the kid. I met the kid. He was at my farm. Very nice kid. He was riding a four-wheeler. He came around the corner, lost control, and hit a disc harrow. And I didn't see it personally, but I was told that it gutted him. And he died. He died in his sister's arms. Now, they had a GoFundMe account as well. And when the GoFundMe money was done and the kid was buried, there was new equipment and shit showing up at the farm and all this other stuff. So what I said was that a child's life is more meaningful than money, okay? If you don't have the money to bury him, use the money that you get from the GoFundMe account, bury that child. But the child's life was worth more than a tractor, a truck, a combine, a new addition on your house, or any of these other things that happen, additions to barns, any of these things that this money would be used for. The money that was generated by this child's death would be more suited in a fund that went for other family farms or other families of children of farming, agriculture, to help pay their burial costs and their grief counseling costs and the parents' grief counseling costs and all this stuff. So the number that I saw last was staggering, but I really honestly think that money, it just would, I don't know the family well. I don't know the family at all, really. I think I sat with them one time at a ag meeting, or maybe twice, or whatever, years and years ago when I was younger. But whatever, it's neither here nor there. But I think that money that's generated shouldn't just be for the pleasure of the family. It should go obviously towards counseling, burial, and counseling is probably the most important after the child is buried, because the mother of that child has got to be an absolute wreck. I know if something happened to one of my children, whether they're older or my little guy William, I would be distraught. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. But the amount of money that is donated, there should be or could be, and maybe someone would set up a non-profit organization for families of children that have been killed or injured in a farming accident, just to help them through their grief, through their healing processes, and burial, or even therapies, physical therapies, mental therapies, and things like that. I think that would be really a worthwhile thing to do with that money. Now, I know I'm an asshole. I know a lot of people think that I'm an asshole. I know a lot of people think that what I say matters. But I've been on this planet for 48 years. What this head says doesn't matter to many people at all. You know, this is basically me spouting off, talking about, you know, what are we going to do? You know, what are we going to do? How are we going to get through a presidency? How are we going to deal with the death in a family? I had a death. My grandmother died. I love and miss my grandmother every day. You know what? There was no GoFundMe for my grief or pain. I dealt with it on my own, and that's why I say I don't think I would ever accept the money from a GoFundMe account. But that's like, again, that's me. So, whatever. This phone call happened yesterday while I was on my way out, and it kind of bugs me because my friend that called me, he's like, he was talking to this guy, he's like, hey, I know Wesley very well, and he would never, ever, ever, ever disrespect someone that just lost their child. It wouldn't happen. And he's like, well, he did. And he says, well, where, when, who? Did you hear him? I started watching that video, and I had enough 10 seconds in, and I shut it off. Well, okay. If you've had enough 10 seconds in, and you don't watch the whole video, you know, that's like going into the shower to wash your hair and not using shampoo. You know, then you got wet hair. Still just as dirty as it was before, but that's the way that I see this person's attitude. It's like, I watched 10 seconds of it. Well, he didn't like what he heard. What I said was pretty much, hey, it's a mixed bag of nuts. And that's exactly the words I said. I said, it's a mixed bag of nuts for me with a GoFundMe account. I know that I do not agree with them. And nobody's going to change my mind by getting in my face over my opinion about what I would do if I were in that situation. Now, to be quite honest with you, the person that I know that got the GoFundMe money and the person that I know spent it on farm equipment and frivolous stuff, I know that a lot of people look at him and say, yeah, well, I guess that's what that kid was worth, a couple of pieces of farm equipment and a new addition on a building. You know, and it's like, I think a lot of good could happen from these GoFundMe accounts, but people see those dollar signs and they go like, ooh, you know, and I'm not saying that this family was like this. I know of a family that was. I'm not saying that this family is like this. I'm just making them aware that if you spend that money on frivolous stuff, pickup truck, tractors, milkers, whatever, barns, whatever you do, people are going to look at you like, you know, is that really what that kid was worth to you? You know, I don't know. I just think that, I think it could be better done in a different way. But that's just my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. And what I say, if you don't like it, then don't listen to it. I don't matter to you at that point. But don't start calling up people that you know I know and that you know they know me as well and start saying that there's going to be trouble. And well, okay, calm down. It's the price is right. I'm not afraid of people, and I will sit down with you. I will discuss with you why I feel the way I feel, and I will actually require you to watch the video that I made from one end to the other so that you understand that what I said was not at all the way you took it. Sorry, truck, you ain't gonna do it. I know you're there. Piss that guy off too. Well, I don't care. I got cars coming on an on-ramp, and what am I supposed to do? didn't even have his headlights on. That's what's funny about it. Oh yeah, those fingers are flying. Boy, that's really hurting my feelings, pal. You know, drive down the road in a rainstorm with no headlights on and expect people to see it. Oh yeah, they're driving Dodge. I understand now. But, you know, no, that was a joke, so don't get all offended. Big wind advisory in Indiana at 11 o'clock. Yeah, I know. Last time Indiana had a wind advisory, I think it blew over like 1,000,000 acres of corn. But yeah. Anyway, Fleming's watching. Hey guys, if you're here watching, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't like it. But I mean, do you think I'm wrong? I'm going to ask this question. Do you think that a child's life, through the GoFundMe, do you think it's better that you pass on that money to someone that really needs it after your needs have been met, instead of just going out and buying tractors and stuff like that? You know, I just kind of want to know. What the fuck are you doing, man? You're off the road? Woo! Anyway, so I'm wrong. Well, I don't think I'm wrong, but, that's okay. I don't think I'm wrong. I think that it would be, I think it could be abused, and even if it was an organization that was set up specifically. Oh, I'm not wrong. Okay. I think that an organization could be set up that would a nonprofit. If you know anything about nonprofits, it's a skeleton crew of people that run it, and they take in donations or money that is set aside specifically for certain purposes, and their time is compensated with a paycheck. But they don't profit from it any more than just a paycheck. They don't okay, so like the Red Cross. You give the Red Cross $1 million, the Red Cross can take 2/3 of it. As a matter of fact, I heard the Red Cross only has to allocate 2% of it. I know that when you donate to the cancer societies, that's 2 to 5% of the money that you give actually goes to cancer research. The rest lines the pockets of the organizations that that you donated to. So think about this. If you know somebody with cancer and somebody says, "Oh, just donate for cancer research," don't do that. And I'm not joking. I'm telling you, my sister died of cancer. I know this. Don't donate to the Cancer Society. Donate to the person that actually has the cancer. Donate to their family. That money will be more than well needed by the time they're done fighting that battle, if they win or lose. Well, passing money on to your children doesn't teach your children anything. It just always in the back of their mind, they're like, hey, once upon a time I had a sibling, and that sibling was injured and died, and there's a pot of money, and when my mom and dad die, or my dad dies, I'm getting that money. So they go into debt in anticipation of money. Trust me, that's what inheritance is. So no, I honestly think that money should go into, there should be someone, maybe I'll do it, I don't know, as if I got time for that shit, but, you could start an organization that, reaches out to people that are on these GoFundMe sites that have gotten large sums of money, and reach out to them and say, hey, look, donate just a percentage of that to help people that were in that. Holy shit, who give me $50? What the hell was that? Doug Davies. Dinner money on the next pit stop. Well, thank you so much. That's crazy. Thank you. I'm not asking for that, but thank you. Yeah, Doug Davis is awesome. I guess I get a free meal. Well, And again, he just donated to me, but 38% of that goes to gobble my balls. Google, right? Isn't that crazy? More than a third of it goes to Google. But that's all right. I mean, it goes to the right place when it comes to me. But anyhow, I don't know. I think there should be an organization that reaches out to people that have received these GoFundMe, unsolicited GoFundMes. Not, like if I was to go on and say, oh, I need a GoFundMe for my motorhome. It just cost me XYZ money, and I don't have the money to fix it, but I have a motorhome. Well, I've got a motorhome, and that's a luxury, and I would never beg for money for that motorhome. But if somebody set it up and for my motorhome, I wouldn't accept it. I think it reaches out to the families that have lost a loved one and explain to them that this organization is here to help people just like you. I'm not asking for all your money. I'm just asking for, what I'm not asking for. I'm just saying, hey, this is here. If someone else has this problem, then this fund will be there and it will help these people pay hospital bills, burial costs, therapy costs, and other unexpected problems. And do you think that's a good idea? And I'm asking my fans here because I've given a lot of thought to this even before this stupid phone call. I don't know what that was. You know what? I'm okay with dinner money. I appreciate everybody. I really do. $50 will pay for everything because you know what? I went to Walmart and I stocked the motorhome before I left Seminole, Oklahoma. My dad and I were set up. At $50, even though there's $38 or 38% of it less, it covers everything that I got, from bottles of water and everything else. And no, I'm not selling my 7810 to How Farms Work or anybody. It's mine. I was going to sell it, and I had it for sale for $62,000, and I think it was $62,000, and they were going to buy it, but then they changed their mind. And now it's probably worth $75,000, $85,000. Oh, you're not bothering me, old man Gruss. No, you don't bother me. I'd actually like to talk to you. I love to hear, and I know a lot of you guys that were in Vietnam don't like to talk about their experiences in Vietnam and what they did. And I'm not a military guy, but I really do like to listen to those stories. And I listen to a YouTube channel on here from time to time. It's called the Billings Gazette Vietnam Voices. And if you've been in Vietnam and you feel alone or feel like you could share a story there, boy, I'll tell you what, that is something else to listen to. Draft stories, draft dodgers, women in Vietnam, and other stories like that. And I know it's hard for people to talk about it, but you know what? Those guys, you were in Vietnam, you guys did not get treated fairly when you came back. And I was just a kid. I was born in 72. You guys were done there in 74. You came home. Everybody hated your guts. Not everybody. Your family loved you, but a lot of people hated your guts, and it was wrong. I just think it's a story that needs to be told. The truth of it, the whole truth. Yeah, that's just me. Maybe it bores people. I don't know. I enjoy it. But anyways, I think it would be cool as hell to be able to actually be able to help people that had issues, Like if you don't watch The Harmless Farmer, '69 through '70, I would love to hear your stories. I really would. Well, whether it was wrong or not, the men that fought and died in that war were put there by our government, and it was not their fault. They did not ask to go. They answered the call to go. Even if they didn't want to go, they went. And what happened to them when they came back was more disgusting than Camel Toe Harris and Joe Biden getting into the White House. And that's just a fact. Yeah, missing the draft. I don't know. My dad, he was injured, so he didn't go. Anyway, there you go. I've been on here for 25 minutes. Oh, my dad's away. It's raining. It's really nasty out here today in Missouri. Well, you see, the problem with that whole war was that Ho Chi Minh actually came to the United States and asked for, I think he asked for help in some way or another. And the whole war could have been avoided, but it wasn't. And, that's that. 1,438 miles. We're only at war in the Middle East because that oil that's in the ground is really valuable. And now, with what happened with the pipeline, the Keystone pipeline, Keystone XL, oil, gas has gone through the roof. Barrel of oil was over $60. When Donald Trump was in office, it got as low as negative 32. I think it was negative 32. They were actually giving oil away. There was a whole bunch of oil offshore and no place to put it. So Donald Trump bought it. Our government bought it and put it in the reserve, the oil reserve. And the oil reserve, you didn't know, is not a bunch of tanks anywhere. It's actually, I think it's an old salt mine, and it's huge. I wish I could read your comments. I mean, I'm driving down the road here at 65 plus mile an hour in a rainstorm, and I just don't want to crash. Anyway, that's that. .4010 is sitting in the building there. I haven't done anything with it. I've been busy doing this stuff, and I'm going to be really busy. I do say it how it is in my videos, and I appreciate that. I watch other channels, and I can appreciate their style and what their message. But when it comes down to the truth and expressing how farming really is versus how they think it is, or how they want people to think it is, gas mileage is going way up. I don't know. I haven't gotten the first tank of fuel through it yet. There's a lot to farming that people don't understand. A lot more to farming than people don't understand. There's things that go on in farming that most don't even show, or don't even do, or don't even know to do. Like, I don't know, soil analysis is probably the most key point to agriculture for efficiency in your crop. Now, I used to grow corn every single year, and I took a 5-year hiatus from it, and I came back into it last year. And I took soil tests last year, and I know where I was deficient, and I'm working on those deficiencies right now. But I do need to take more soil tests this year on that very same ground to see what my fertilizer recommendation will be. At least that's the plan. And there's a lot of people that don't show that. And I show it on my channel, and they're like, you're copying somebody. You're copying so-and-so. They did that. Why are you taking soil tests every year? That's dumb. No, it's not. It's not dumb. It's how you do things as efficiently as possible. So, I'm into weird area here. You have to give me a second. So, no, you just have to work your ground in a way that makes you money. I know people in my area, and they watch these videos of mine, and I've watched them mine the ground, and I'm not talking with a pickaxe and they're digging up minerals. I'm talking they plant a crop, put nothing back, deplete every single thing that is in there, and then whine and cry that they don't have a crop. And then when the price of beans or corn goes up, or wheat or hay or whatever goes up, then they're like, oh my God. But then there's little old me, little old me that continues to put fertilizer on his hay crop, and and things like that, and potash where it needs to be put, and phosphate where it needs to go, and lime where it needs to go, and other things like that. And there's things that I don't show on my channel for that very reason, because I don't need people knowing exactly what I'm doing on the ground that I have. Every year, fertilizer goes back on the hay, not just nitrogen. Nitrogen in the spring, second go around, gets a hefty dose of blah, blah, blah. And I don't want people to know, because they'll come at my land and try to rent it away from me because they know that I have put something in there. The whole, oh, the jealous